Okay, what's up? So recently I've been having some issues with my AD5X, and I figured I'd use it as a moment to teach you guys how to unclog your unit whenever you get it. So we're only going to use the tools that are given to you by the manufacturer, and we're going to go exactly by what they would recommend. Okay? So we have a PLA issue in here. It recently turned into a nugget, clogged up the whole thing. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure the machine is on. That's good. The nozzle doesn't have to be hot yet. We'll go over that in a second. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to have this cover. You're going to go under, pull it up, off. It just rests on these two little guys. You probably remember that from when you put the thing together. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to take this little clamp right here, this little blue guy. Sometimes it's black, depending on what version you have. And you can either use your fingernail or the little hex wrench, and it comes right off. You're going to take the littlest of the hex wrenches they gave you. You're going to put it in this little hole. You're going to unscrew this particular screw. And you're going to be very careful because it is very small. You're going to have a lot easier time because you're using both hands. Throw it in your pocket. You don't want to lose it. Next, take your finger. I should probably not put stuff in my mouth. Take your finger, push that down until you hear a click. As you can see, it's all the way against. That'll allow you to pick this up and you can move it. Okay, now as you can see, nothing in there. You can actually see down into the nozzle from here, and you can actually see the clog on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that same little hex wrench. We're going to go in around the side over here into another hex bolt. Okay, we're going to loosen that one up. As you can see, it's visible from the front. We're going to go till it's most of the way out. These are just little guys. Okay, what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to push through. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a filament of the same type or of a higher melting point. So I have another PLA strip. It's the same PLA that's stuck in here currently. You could also use, if you have PLA, you could use something like PETG. And you're just going to warm this up by going to your menu. You're going to click on this 34C. You're going to go here. The base temperature is 200. You're going to go to whatever it would print at for that material. So I'm going to go 230, which is 10 degrees hotter than necessary for PLA. And what that's going to do is it's going to start running up here. It's going to give you your target, and it's going to give you what your current temperature is, and we'll be right back after it warms up. Okay, it's been 3 or 4 minutes, and we're up to temperature. Okay, we have all of this stuff still showing. What we're going to do, I'm going to try to rest my phone so I can get a good shot here. We're going to take our filament that we have. Like I said, it has to be of the same type or of one that melts at a higher temperature. You're going to take it, you're going to put it into the nozzle, okay, and you're going to push until it starts coming out the bottom. So it takes a second, and as you can see, I'm going to move this. Oh, just move it enough. You're going to do it for, I'd say, until it makes a nice size poop. Okay, and then you're going to take this part that you have here, and you're going to pull up sharply. Okay, what that'll do is it'll grab onto whatever is loosest in your nozzle, and it'll help get it out. Now, you also were given this tool. It's a declogging pike thingy. No, it's a nozzle declogger. So you're just going to take it and you're going to push it all the way down. And as you can see, it does a really good job of clearing it because it's the exact size of the nozzle on the end. Let me get a picture of that. That's the part that was stuck in there, that little bit at the end. So that should have been good enough to clear it out. So what we're going to do, actually, let me show you how to do a cold pull real quick. If you have one that's really stuck and you don't want to use the plunger tool, what you can do is you can take the same piece of PLA or PETG or whatever you're using, get it all the way to the bottom like you did last time, pushing it in. Go until it starts coming out the bottom. Okay, then you're going to stop. You're going to come over here, you're going to hit the same thing, and you're going to hit this little broom, and we're going to let it cool down all the way. Okay, once it gets to about 30 degrees, we will come in, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, we are down to 74, so we're well below what this would be frozen at, or not frozen, but solid. So we're just going to take it, and we're going to pull really hard on it. Try to get it to come out. Okay, it's going to come out. It's going to be a little rough, but it's going to come out with a big old blob on the end because it got into the nozzle and stopped, and then you pulled it out and it came out with everything else. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put everything back together. The first thing is we set this gently in here. Okay, we're going to get that screw out of one of my pockets that I put in there somewhere. We're going to set the screw in. We're going to get our tiny little hex wrench. We're going to get rid of the PLA that's attached to it. Okay, next thing we're going to do, now that this is back in, okay, you're going to use your fingernail to get in between. Actually, you know what I can do? I'll use this. In between the gray part and the black part. I need one of those little hands that you can like boop stuff with. But you can get between these two right here and pull it up. Then you can take your C-clamp. You can take your little C-clamp and put it in here till it clicks. Doesn't matter what orientation it's in. It just matters if it's in there. And like I said, this can come in blue or black. So it's just going to be that same piece. You're going to take your fan cover. You're going to put it back on. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little guy. We're going to go in through this side hole. And you don't have to put the cover on yet. I just do it so that it's a little bit cleaner. You're going to go in here. You're going to tighten this guy up. Kind of a weird angle. Okay, that's good. So now what we're going to do is we can do a pest print, and I will get one going here. You know what I did? I took the sock off. We're going to put the sock back on. That's just this little guy right here. Make sure that it's cool when you do that. Goes back on. Okay, everything will line up over here. Everything looks good. I'm going to put them in my little box down here. That's where I keep all my stuff. Wipe everything off. I'm going to go in here and we're going to go to there it is. There's a Starforge coin in here. I always use it as my test print. We're going to go to, I'm going to leave leveling on because I just messed up the whole thing. We're going to print in 2, which is this PLA right here. Okay, and I will be back whenever it's done. I'll show you guys if it fails or if it doesn't. Okay guys, it's been like 25 minutes. I've got my little multiple color print that I didn't actually use because I just used white for both. And then I've got my coin. Looks like it printed out perfectly. So I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys later. If you have any questions about anything else that would be good for me to cover, let me know.